Hey guys, what's up? And welcome back to my disgusting hair. So today, in this video, the poll is not over, but the last time I checked, the poll had been up for a little over an hour and we were in the lead with how to perfect your base makeup. So that's what we're gonna do today. My eyebrows are already done because this is not an eyebrow video, and in my normal makeup routine, I always do my eyebrows first because I feel like when you do them first, they lay down a lot better because you're not trying to fight against like powder and foundation and stuff to get them on looking nice. For anybody that's wondering, I do still use the Wonder Brow from Wonder 2 in the shade Brunette to do my brows because I've really been liking this more of like a natural eyebrow look opposed to the really dark, really I didn't think my eyebrows were bad before, they were fine. Anyway, let's just jump right in. So my step number one is always to moisturize. Actually, my step number one is to do a toner on my face, but I already did that because I was just getting ready for the video and I was like, well, should have done that later, and I don't want to put more toner on my face. So right now, these are both really dirty, just so you know. I'm either using the Saturday Skin Waterfall or the Barber Rejuvenating Face Oil on my face, one or the other, depending on how dry my skin is. Today, we're going to be using an oil because we're feeling a bit dry. I definitely do my toner first, and I'm using, at night, I'm doing they're both Pixie, the Pixie Rose toner that I do at night, and in the morning I do the Glow. It's like a exfoliating face oil. So anyway, this is the Barber face oil toner is what I meant. This is face oil. I'm real tired if you can't tell. I'm just coming off my work week, and I'm very tired. So I definitely like to do my toner first because it helps whatever you put on after it really soak in to the skin. You know what I'm saying? So I will let this sit on for a minute and then we'll start to prime. Oh, I love the way this feels. So once I get it on and pressed into my skin, or especially in my problem areas like my nose and my chin where I tend to be more dry. My chin is super broken out right now. We're going to cover that up, thank God. But not going into too much detail, a bunch of animal byproduct has been on my face recently. That sounds super gross. Nothing like pee. It was blood, but people don't really want to hear that blood from an abscess got on your face. But that's part of my life. So now that we have this on, I will take a sponge. This has got powder on it now, but this is my Echo Tools sponge. I do just like to press like this into my skin as well. This has already been dampened and it will soak up a little bit. So anything that's left on the top, it kind of absorbs, and it does help to press it in. And I don't mind having a little oil on my sponge, especially if I'm going to use it to do my makeup, because I like a good dewy look. So there we go with that. Now we're going to prime. I use two different primers. So first off, I use the No Problem primer by Touch and Soul. I really just keep that in this area of where I have more pores, because for the rest of my face, I really like to use a more sticky primer because I feel like it keeps my makeup on better. And I do like the pore filling aspect of this, but it makes your face look very smooth, which I enjoy the smoothness, but also it gives me none of that tackiness that I really look for in a primer. So I do put this right here. This is going to be kind of a long video, so go get a snack, go get a drink, get ready. And then after that, I will go in with my I would say my tried and true, I can't find it now, tried and true Caitlyn Cosmetics Bulgarian Rose Water Makeup Primer. Shake. And I really just put that kind of right on top. I'll do the little, I'm not going to do Instagram drops because that always gives me way too much product on my face. And then we'll just kind of go in with that too. And I do put it right over the other one because it doesn't take away from the pore filling aspect if I don't rub it. If I just kind of pat it in those areas, it just gives me that little bit of stickiness that I need to make my makeup stick. I do prefer a tacky primer. So I'm looking real pale, but that's okay. We'll get into that. Okay, cool. We are primed. Now there's lots of different techniques I used to actually apply my foundation, my normal sponge. I have been known to use an Artic brush here and there because it's so fast and it puts it on really quickly. And then more recently, I've been really into this. It's from Spy Sciences. It's actually a drugstore brand. I think they're going to be sold in Walgreens. And it's a vibrating, that looks so cool, a vibrating makeup brush. And it looks really great when you put your makeup on. Today, we're going to be doing a mixture of these two. This is what I do with my everyday. And I'm going to be mixing foundations, my tried and true Holy Grail combination of my Maybelline Super Stay Foundation. I think my shade is 110 Porcelain. And I just go with a pimp on the back of my hand. And I either mix it with my Do You foundation from Tarte, but my tried and true, as you guys know, has always been there's a cat here, is the CoverGirl Healthy Elixir Foundation. This is also the shade Ivory, but look at the difference in colors of those two. Porcelain and Ivory. Okay, so I'll do like a full pump. This is almost gone. This would be like my 40th bottle of this. And I do just take the end of a makeup brush. This one, the one I used yesterday, so there's still foundation on it. Gross, great. And just kind of mix that together like so. And I usually just take the actual brush that I did that on and kind of dot it around my face. The dot and swipe, because I'm not here to use up, like just waste a bunch of product. That's just not what I'm about. And I've found that if you put the foundation directly onto your face like this, instead of picking it up with a brush or a sponge and going to your face, you end up using a lot less of your product. And I always start with my cheeks, like right here in my chin, that whole area first. So, because it does dry, it is a Super Stay foundation, so it is long wearing, so it does dry down. So anyway, I'll take my Spy Sciences brush. I put it on the second speed. I don't know why, but I do. And then we'll get to blending. I just kind of do little, like very light circular motions. It's kind of loud. Can you hear? You guys hear that motor running? It's pretty loud. And but I don't know if it's because it vibrates. It just really gets in there to all my little cracks and crevices in my skin and really blends it so well. I don't know. This is really good. I've used these kind of brushes before, but I feel like this one is my favorite because I feel like it's softer. Maybe that's not great for everyone, but the brush bristles aren't so finely compacted together, but it's softer. And I feel like because they're not so compacted, the vibrating motion of it works better. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Do that half. And then I'll kind of take it, whatever's left on this brush. Because I usually don't put just tons of product on my forehead because my forehead tends to look cakier faster. So I do less product on my forehead than I'll do on the rest of my face. But on my forehead is where I will actually do what I just said I don't do. Because I just use like tiny bits of product and press that in with my sponge, because I already have a little concealer on my forehead from when I, carve out my brows. So I just don't use that much product on my forehead. I don't really have a better answer than that. I just usually don't do a ton. And I'm just kind of going around where I wiped it. That little extra is what I would do if I feel like I need some more extra coverage in some places. But just a light amount on my 27 head. Alright, so then I'll take whatever's left over on my hand, which is about this much, and just kind of place it in areas where I feel like I don't have enough foundation or coverage, or stuff that I need to last longer, which is especially my nose. And I always have to go over my nose with a sponge. It does not matter like how wonderful any other application is. My nose just doesn't hold product very well. Anyway, and then I'll buff this a little bit in with a sponge, and then I kind of go over the whole face like this, because the sponge not only helps everything look seamless, if there's any brush strokes or anything left on your face from using that brush, it blends it back out. And then I kind of stamp on my eyelids, because I don't like that I have like the veiniest, pinkest eyelids in the world. Anyway, but it picks up any leftover product as well that isn't soaked into the skin, so you don't look as cakey. And we'll just do another quick pass like so. Now, a lot of people that I follow, especially here on social media, usually do much darker foundation on their face as opposed to their neck, but as you see, mine is the same color and I am very white. But I like to, if I had to pick, I would always pick a color that is too light for me versus too dark, because I like the way that looks at stark contrast between that and my bronzer, and it looks really pretty, so the center of my face ends up looking very highlighted. So moving on, we're going to be using our Tarte Shape Tape as per usual in the shade Light. And one dip of this one, generally I can do my entire face with it. I do there, and a little here, on my mustachio, and on my chin. And then recently I've been kind of doing little highlighty portions of my jawline as well. Now, I will take my beauty sponge, and then I do like to spray it with some kind of setting spray, hydrating mist. This is the, I just got foundation all over this, but this is the Barber Fresh Up Thermal Spray. It's not really a setting spray, it's more of like a refreshing spray that kind of makes all your stuff blend together. Like, if you kind of starting to look powdery throughout the day, that would be your go-to thing to put on to kind of break up some of that powderiness and kind of melt all your makeup back together. So we're just going to stamp with our little beauty sponge and blend everything back out. I always do my under eyes last because I like to let it sit for a minute and like thicken almost, because I need the most coverage there. And I do highlight my forehead. Especially for this part of my forehead, I like to use the big poofy thing because again, it soaks up in the excess product so I don't have a super cake forehead. I didn't realize how much attention I paid to my forehead until this video. Weird. Alright. So I really try to concentrate this concealer kind of in the corners of my eyes, and then when I have it blended out, then I kind of pull it down into everywhere else, because that's really where I need it, is up under my super crazy Mombi eyes that look horrible all the time, and I always have these giant bags that are super purple. And I don't know why I kind of stopped doing color correction, because I think that looks really, really nice, especially on the under eye. But I mean, with this concealer, I really don't need to. I think it looks pretty good as it is, like without any extra help. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really feel like I need to color correct. Some days I do. Like, you know, if it's been a long week, sometimes you need to color correct your face. Alright, so we are foundation and concealer down. We're only 12 minutes in. That's not so bad. And again, I'll make a whole nother pass and just kind of toot, 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 tap everything out so it is nice and put on my face. So for my powder today, I kind of bounce between these two all the time. This is the Maybelline Fit Me powder in Fair, and this is the Pretty Vulgar Powder Room powder in Matte About It translucent setting powder. We're going to use this today. It is actually not stark white. It is more of like a cream colored. And I know a lot of beauty gurus really enjoy putting on their powders with a sponge. I am not one of those because I wear my makeup for so long. I just look cakey by the end of the day. I don't like it. But I'm going to be using the setting brush from Real Techniques. And I just kind of, I bake sort of, but not like crazy. Because, again, it'll all start breaking down and looking crazy if you've been wearing your makeup for a long time. Which, you guys know, I wear my makeup for a long time. I leave my house at 5:30 in the morning and I don't get back until like 9 o'clock at night. Get up, I start doing my makeup at 4:30. Get dressed, get everything ready, leave at 5:30. Get home between 8:30 and 9. Oh, and I also put a little translucent powder on my lids, and I'll dust all of the excess powder away. Okay. And right now we're really just setting our concealer, and I just kind of dab it into the skin as opposed to sweeping it, which we will get to. I mean, I do that eventually, but when I'm just setting. Now, this is going to be extreme to the rest of you, but I put so much powder on this nose because makeup always comes off my nose, and I will leave this much powder on my nose. So I guess I do bake. I bake my nose, and I will leave that powder on my nose for like a really long time. And just kind of put that anywhere there was concealer. This kind of really helps starting to contour without looking super, super fake. You dig? You dig. Yeah, put that there. Cool. Cool. My top lip looks a little dark, and it's really just because I actually legitimately have a mustache and I haven't fixed that in a while. I mean, that's just the tea. So then I'm going to grab this big Real Techniques. It's like the Out of This World or something. I can't remember the name of this collection, but it's the 300 brush, and I'll just dip into that powder, get all the extra off, and then I just kind of dust it everywhere else. That may still be a little bit tacky from having foundation on. And then I'll kind of dust off all the extra here. Like so. For some reason, my foundation always stays tacky right here. So I have to kind of make sure I really get it in there and get that powdered at least some. Or when I do my bronzer, it'll look really patchy there. And I like to just lightly pull across and up, because then I can feel anywhere that's tugging on the brush. That means it's too wet still and it needs to be addressed. So once I do that, I do leave this out with this for the majority of my makeup routine, because I do like to go in and repowder some places, especially like any place that I think I put too much contour or too much bronzer. I'll go back. I also have this disgusting makeup rag where I'll take this and just kind of wipe off the extra. Have a itch. The extra foundation, because I love this brush for my bronzer. Today we're going to be going in pretty lightly. Sorry, my cat has been confined in this room, Gunter, my Siamese, because he hurt himself. And I just kind of locked him in here. I mean, it sounds mean, but he really does need to be inside. He's always been an inside-outside cat. So he's hating it, but he gets on my desk, which I don't care. There's just cat hair everywhere now. So it's all over my face. Anyway, moving on. I'm going to take my Spa Sciences brush, and I'm going to grab my butter bronzer from Physicians Formula. Again, I go between these two a lot. The butter bronzer, because I use the light bronze and the Laura Mercier bronze matte radiance baked powder in bronze 02. But we're gonna go in with this one today because I love the way these two work together. And we're gonna do the third one that's more like this. And I just kind of swirl in there, tap off the extra. Ooh. And just bronze her up, man. It just gives me such a pretty blend. And it doesn't put just tons on there, and I can go back and add if I need to, because it's so much easier to add product than it is to take away. And I don't know what it is about this brush, but even if I just put foundation on, all I really have to do is wipe it off a little, and then we're ready to go with powders. It's a little bit wet still because I did wash it like earlier today, but it's a little wet on the inside, but it's really not affecting on my bronzers laying down at all. So this is a really good brush, a really good one. All right, so we are bronzed. I do like to take a little, just start to kind of get a carve on the jaw like so. Not a ton, just a little. I do like it to be more concentrated right here on my cheek. Like so. So we'll sometimes go in and put a little extra just right here. And then kind of blend it out from there. Almost dropped it. Alrighty. Cool. We are nice and bronzed. Like so. Turn this bad boy off. Ooh, makes my hands feel tingly when I use it for a long time. And she's done. So then the next step that I would do is contour. So I'm still using my Shady B Miami contour brush. It looks like this. It's very thin. It's very nice. And I went back to my old love. All my makeup is really dirty. Y'all just have to deal. It is the Tartiste Pro To Go palette. It's got that little contour shade here. The name of it is Chisel, and it is so beautiful for contouring the face. I just kind of concentrate most of the color right closest to my ear here, and then blend out from there. And I do kind of pull it upwards. Gives me that nice lifted look. I feel like there's going to be a lot of dead space in this video. Where just like I'm making crazy faces and you can hear my kids arguing in the background. Which is super cool. And we're just going to hit that hairline just a smidge. So I really try to keep my contouring to my cheeks. Mostly. Be in the darkest part, usually out here. I don't know why we're sticking to right here right now, but that's fine. That's easily fixed. And kind of blend up and around from right there. Okay. And then I'll take my brush and kind of pack it onto the sides. And then I really don't contour my nose very much because it is covered in that powder. So when I do kind of run over it with this contouring color, it kind of immediately diffuses because I've already got that powder there. And it just kind of gives me a really nice nose contour that's not super overpowering. Now, as I was saying before, I do keep my powder open. I'll take my little brush, dip it into my translucent powder, and I do kind of like to go under there just to kind of smooth out anything. And any spots like right here where I thought the color was too concentrated, I can just kind of go over it. And it diffuses it down, like so. A lot of people do this with a sponge. You can, I do that too, a lot of the times. Like I probably will on this side where it is a little concentrated here. Baby hairs. And just kind of clean that up. I used to be one that wanted that really super sharp contour line. I really don't anymore. I like everything to look more like natural. Ooh, that side looks real good. That little area needs some help, so we will go over that with a sponge. Our same sponge with a little powder and just kind of see what I mean, like this super harsh line that this side doesn't have, where it looks just like a more natural contour as opposed to the sharpest line in the world. But that is a-okay because you can always soften. You can soften anything, really. So I'll just take my big brush and just kind of go over all that, dust off that bake at the bottom, and it does kind of blend all that together, your bronzer and your contour. And I'll just go back with whatever's left on this brush and kind of revamp that little area. Like, stop touching the door. And just kind of bring her back to life. And there we have it. She's looking cute. Like so. Not bad if I do say so myself. And you guys know I've always had this spot right here that just won't hold pigments. It's been like that as long as I've done makeup on the internet. You guys have all heard me complain. The only trick I have for you guys is to take a small blending like eyeshadow brush and try to pack on some pigment. A lot of the times it doesn't work, but for argument's sake, you'll see I'll go over it and go over it, and that one spot will just not hold pigment. My face has always been like that. That's not a new thing. Moving on. So then I do like to veil my face. Like you guys have heard Jeffree Star and Nikki Lipstick talk about this, where you take a bigger brush with powder on it and kind of blend everything. Blend it out. It'll dust off this bake on my nose, and especially my forehead, and just make sure I get all of that contour, bronzer, everything nice and seamless together. Like so. Ooh, looking pretty good. You guys hear the temper tantrum that's happening in my living room? Oh, knock that over. Right. I would be concerned if I didn't know she was super, super mad about a Minecraft game, but I know her, and I heard her say, I hate Minecraft. So, anyway, I'm going to grab my tried and true blush. This is my Luminoso Baked blush. Milani Baked Blush Shade Luminosa. Okay. And then my Unicorn Cosmetics Mermaid Brush. And this is the perfect blush brush. And then I'll just kind of dust, really kind of concentrating in this area. But I still like pat and push my blush on like so. That's a good trick smile. I usually don't do this because I know where my cheekbones are. But if you're new into the makeup game, it's helpful because the meaty parts is where you want to concentrate your blush. And then as of late, I've been taking some and I just love this blushy nose look. Like, I love it. I think it looks great. I've seen some controversy about people saying it look like Rudolph. I don't care. I love it. I'm a happy little Rudolph. Like, powder smells kind of weird. Not like stinky, just not what I was. It didn't smell like a powder would normally smell, you feel me? And then sometimes if I'm feeling crazy or if I'm feeling like I'm really pale, I do take a little bit and just kind of dust it right here where I would highlight on my forehead, just a little, because it kind of brings back some of that color to the face. All right, we're almost done because all we're doing is face makeup today. I tried a true Pixie Skin Treats Rose Glow Mist, and we'll mist to the face. I love it. It's such a fine mist. And then I'll just let it sit. A lot of those fancy Instagram makeup artists have that little fan. They're like, beep. Well, this is a card from an old BoxyCharm, and it works just fine for me. That's something I already had. So, okay. So we got that sitting down. And I'll let that sit because it does give me my glow back. It takes away a lot of that powderiness that we had experienced earlier. And then I'll take that booty of my sponge and just kind of pat. Make sure everything, I don't have any like droplets on my face, which happens a lot with setting sprays. And it just kind of pushes everything in. And it already looks like I have on some highlighter, but I don't. It's just to make sure of like the glow spray, and my blush has a little bit of shimmer in it. Not a lot though, but it's because we're real dewy today. Okay, so then I hit it with the, I'm not playing, I will do another setting spray. This is my Pixie Makeup Fixing Mist. They have the best setting sprays, but this one comes out like a fucking rocket. You gotta get pretty far away and just kind of let it fall on your face. And this one 100% of the time will leave water droplets. You see them? Little water droplets everywhere. Yeah, it leaves water droplets. So, no big deal. We just push it in like so. And that really helps. I just am kind of leaving this area open. Whoa, look at the water droplets right here. Okay. And push them in and then they're gone. Went too hard in the paint. Okay. And a lot of the, like, I know it seems like I do the same step a bunch of times, but if you're trying to create that, like, perfect base, sometimes you do. You repeat some steps a couple times, and that's okay. Because when you're trying to get everything flawless and looking great, sometimes you do blend stuff away. Look, we're back to having a missing spot right here. That's pretty normal, though, in my life. So, touch it up, not a problem. Now for the best part. So I'm going to be using this highlighter called Gleam from the Tarte palette. I like it because it gives just like a sheen to the skin, well, my skin tone anyway. And this is my C441 Pro Blending Crease Brush from Crown Brushes, and I've always used this for highlighter, but you see what I'm saying? It just kind of adds that gleam to the skin without actually adding a lot of color. So I like that. Now I don't mind a color in my highlighter. It's fine. Like, I think it looks pretty a lot of the times, and I'll do that on purpose and wear a highlighter with color like a peach or a gold, and I don't mind that whatsoever. I may actually go over this with a little bit of gold because I don't hate the way it looks. This gold one under it's called Burst, and they look very pretty mixed. So we'll just do a little of that and a little of that. So, okay. Now that we have it placed, we're going to take our sponge, hit it with some glow mist, some Pixie, and then we're going to pat it in. So we don't have a big old streak on our face, which is the way that I've seen people recently started applying a highlighter with a sponge, and honestly it looks really, really good. I just really like that particular brush of mine. So yeah, and we'll get it in there, get her blended, and that's it, you guys. A lot of times I'll finish with like a fresh up mist. I'm a big fan of mists on the skin because it helps you look not powdery, looks glowy. You look like your skin is just meant to look that way, and you just don't have any cakiness, and it looks very natural, like we keep saying. And let's look at this side because it looks better than my missing spot right here, which if you guys have been on this channel for a while or even followed me before that, you know that that spot on my face doesn't hold foundation or makeup or anything, but this side looks great. All right, you guys, so that's pretty much it. I'll wipe all the foundation off my lips. Maybe I'll stay on a gloss. I will actually. Hold, please. Oh my God. Yeah. Moving is hard when you're on. So I'm going to throw on this Tarte lip paint. The shade Insta Famous. Oh my God. And just so you can have something better for you guys to look at than my foundation covered lips. All right, you guys, and that's it. This is the completed look. Don't look at that one spot. Of how to get a very nice, very seamless, natural looking base. If you guys have any questions for me, you can definitely leave them. I feel like my skin looks so good. I'm just like, So, if you guys have any questions for me, you can leave them in the comments below. My baby hairs are terrible. And we will be doing our assumptions video as well. I just need to get some assumptions posted, and maybe I'll do an eye look completed while I talk about that. I don't know. But I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys. I hope this video doesn't fucking bomb because all my makeup videos do terribly. But anyway, if you would like to, you can follow me on all my social media accounts. You can follow me on Instagram at grungexglitterx. You can follow me on Snapchat and Twitter at grungexglitter. And you can follow me on Facebook at grungeandglitter-kp. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.